All right. So I did want to talk to you guys about the tour. You guys are coming to Tampa. That happens in a few days for us, June 14th.
Yeah.
It's actually my wife's birthday. We're planning to go to the show. I'm very excited.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
but what I wanted to ask you guys was I mean, the music that you guys have on the Music of the Spheres album feels so like out of this world. How do you capture that in a concert, and what can somebody expect to experience in a concert like that?
Well, that's a great question, Justin. I think we have realized over the years that there's no song that isn't improved by fireworks. And so,
Okay.
Or indeed lasers.
or lasers or wristbands that light up. So we tend to just do that all the time and hope for the best. And really, we're making so much noise with fireworks that the music, people forget about it.
It's just more, they're just like in awe of all the lights and
Yeah.
the extra stimulation going on.
I mean, we're only half joking actually, because we really love all that stuff so much. And so it does kind of fit with, and you know, even though some of our songs purport to being about outer space or something, they're really just about being a human and love and the very sort of 101 subjects really.
But that's it. But it, from the approach that you guys took on it, it really is from like a almost like an outside perspective. Like you took away I don't even know how to, like, it took away the humanity and looked at it as an unbiased entity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think that's right. We almost tried to, with this record, like you said, Music of the Spheres, we tried to kind of remove ourselves from it so that we could talk completely freely.
Yeah.
About what it's like to be a human, really.
Well, and so what was the music creation process like for that album for you guys?
Well, I mean, we were under quite a few constraints, obviously, because of
Sure.
the pandemic that was going on and is still going on. But so it was tricky to meet up and get together, but we did manage it on quite a few occasions, and we've kind of got used to over the years working quite a lot on our own and sending each other stuff, and so we managed to stay very productive, which was great because you know, so many people found it hard to keep working, and you know, we felt incredibly grateful to be able to keep working and keep being creative through a very strange period. Yeah, so it was tricky, but it was doable with a great team.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and do you think that, you know, with COVID and all those restraints, that kind of helped you guys with the album and giving like a different perspective on everything?
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know how it was for you, Justin, working in radio, but gave us extra gratitude and an extra sense of the fragility of all things. So not to take anything for granted and to be so aware of how lucky we are, to be alive, let alone to be in a band.
Yeah,
that's sort of continued into this tour, because we feel like, you know, previously you sort of thought touring would go on forever, and you know, now it's very much a case that we realize it can be taken away just like that. So, you know, we feel incredibly grateful that people actually come.
Yeah.
So, well, and that's the thing is, so then, you know, it feels like the concert in general is just going to be a celebration of the ability to have concerts, to have interaction with people again.
Yes, again, Justin, it's really not important what songs we're playing. It's just, if you come to our concert, you can just celebrate concerts in general and fireworks, and then be like, who was that band again?
Who did we see that one? I don't even remember.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
But to that, when you guys announced the tour, there was some the announcement went a little viral because of the sustainability initiatives that you guys are taking and everything you're doing. So from that perspective, what can people expect when they're there? Like, do they have to be dancing the whole time, or the lights go off? Like, how's that? How's that work?
I mean, yes and no. If you want to be very much part of the energy side of the show,
sure,
you can jump up and down on bits of the floor or ride these bicycles that create power. Then we also have a lot of battery powered and solar stuff. Today, in fact, where we are today in New York, we are, for the first time, we have this water generator that pulls water out of the atmosphere for drinking water.
Oh, cool.
So you can kind of ignore it all, or you can just watch it. Or if you really want to, you can pedal or jump up and down for as long as you want. But we make sure that we have enough in stock so that the show can continue, even if someone gets fatigued.
Sure. But so how does like a conversation like that start? Of like, obviously, you know, you guys were like, well, we want to provide sustainability things to the tour and all that stuff. But then from there, how do you go, okay, you know, what are some things we can do? Where did those ideas come from?
Well, yeah, I mean, none of us are experts on this in this field. So, I mean, luckily, Chris did an interview in like 2019, I think, and he mentioned that about this sort of idea that we wanted to make touring sustainable, and then thousands of people sort of got in contact with some incredible ideas, and so sort of from those ideas, we've pulled together as many as we can and seeing what works really.
That's cool. And that's cool. And that's one of the things that I'm excited for to experience, because I don't think you really get that at any concert or any concert I've ever been to. There's never been like the fans are involved, but this is like you really can be involved now.
Yeah, well, I think we're trying some things, and we're very lucky that we're in a position where we're able to afford to try those things. You know, some of this technology is quite expensive at the moment because it's still in its infancy. So I think one thing we feel we're trying to do on this tour is see what works so that it might be rolled out elsewhere. For example, the kinetic floor that we have, if it works in our concert, then there's no reason why it wouldn't work in a whole shopping mall or on a sidewalk or on a road even, or an airport runway. So some of it's just kind of being like an expo for new technology.
Yeah, you guys are kind of like the pushing the limits in a way, and pushing us forward in terms of that technology too.
Well, we're not doing it. We're just showing people.
You're helping. Yeah. You're helping it. You're providing a platform for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I did want to bring up, because I do also work on a top 40 station, and obviously with some of the songs you guys have, you worked with Selena Gomez and BTS. What was it like working with them? You know, and then obviously from a perspective of how big their social media followings, did you feel that? I guess maybe not pressure, but you feel that influence that was there?
Well, I think the really great thing about when we're able to collaborate with someone is that the song leads the way. So we don't collaborate with someone unless the song is asking for it, if you see what I mean.
Yes.
And in both of those instances, it just turned out to be even more enjoyable than we thought and sound even better than we hoped. And all of the sort of residual stuff about their popularity or the army or Selena's followers just was a great bonus, you know.
Yeah.
Because we got to be privileged enough to just hang out with them as people and work together, you know, just like any other colleagues.
Yeah.
And it was really enjoyable on a very pure level.
And then, well, and that's got to be the cool part is, you know, they can always provide another perspective and add another angle of maybe something that you hadn't thought of. But you said something that I thought was interesting. If the song calls for it, so is it almost like, you know, when the song is out there, you're like, you know what, we should add said person to this song, or is it more like you knew right off the bat BTS has to be on this?
Yeah, right off the bat. Yeah. Because someone had suggested, in the case of BTS, someone had suggested trying to do a song for them, and I just didn't know how that would work. And then one day the right song just appeared, and it's a song about, you know, love between two sides that aren't supposed to love each other for whatever reason. And so it felt like, well, let's do this with the most different band to us in the world, and it turned out to be like a real beautiful experience with them.
And it really is. I mean, listening to it is phenomenal, and you feel that when you're listening to that song.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like, it was really fun to make that song.
When you went to BTS, right? To
I
record?
went to BTS, yes.
And you learned. I also read that you learned their parts in Korean.
Yeah.
Is that so? When performing, like, is there like a switch?
I think I have, but I think if you were a brilliant Korean speaker, you might be like, what is he talking about? It's like mumble, mumble, mumble. But I think I'm singing in pretty passable Korean, but I haven't yet consulted with anyone who really knows. For example, I haven't done it in front of them or in front of any Korean person, as far as I know.
You have to get their feedback a little bit. But is it tough to do that while mid performance to kind of flip that switch?
No.
Or no, it just flows?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool. Well, we are excited. Can't wait for the concert that happens in a few days for us. June 14th, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Cannot wait to see you guys and experience this outer world concert with a bunch of fireworks and everything.
But we can't wait to see you and Mrs. Justin too.
Yes, we're very excited. Thank you guys so much.
Okay,
I
man.
appreciate your
Anytime.
time.
All right,
Thank
much
you,
love,
Justin.
Justin. Thank you for speaking with us.